cussing.
No, Cassana, man.
There's a jungle out, there's a jungle out, there's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down, we gonna hunt you down. We gonna come, we ain't playing, it's the last thing on our minds. Go crime much if you really wanna stop crime. Be safe in your home, be safe in the streets. It's a cold place and I'm really feeling the heat. I never wear gold cause someone's always peeping by the fence. Still crime much came and give TNT confidence. I had a dream in the dark, I had a dream in the spring. I had a dream like Martin Luther King. Take me friendly on the phone so you can call us. We ain't gonna call you back, say they don't know if you call us. Say what you gonna do now, we all coming through now. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down, we gonna hunt you down. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down, we gonna hunt you down. We gonna come, we ain't playing, it's the last thing on our minds. Go crime what you.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is I.A.N. and this is Crime Watch, and we are back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. The murder toll is now 54. For the same period last year, 48. Now, details are still sketchy, but nevertheless, this is news before the news. A prison officer was just shot dead minutes ago, in fact, on FEDRICK Street. Now, we don't know the details as yet, but breaking news, prison officer was just shot dead. He has been identified as a prison officer to Devendra Budram. I'm trying to get a photo from the scene. Hi, good evening, you're live on Crime Watch. Now, all we have is just this shot here. This is just the area. We have shots of the prison officer in the vehicle. This is just shots of the area. Now, right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is just before CIC, the corner of that's FEDRICK and Oxford Street. A short distance. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, a short distance. It's just two streets. Just one more street. One more street. It's a short 1 minute walk. Less than 1 minute, and take note of that here. Less than 1 minute, less than 1 minute walk from the state prison. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a prison officer too was just shot dead. Open up the lines. Hi, good evening. You are live on Crime Watch. Take the audio down, just as I mentioned to you yesterday. Go ahead. Hi, good evening. Now, just as I mentioned to you yesterday, that soon, we are going to start seeing judicial officers, a prison officer shot dead. Now, we know it had a mayhem in prison. What day was that? On Wednesday, and I am sure. Now, I can't say, listen to me, I can't say that it has any connection with this. I'm not going to say that. But nevertheless, there was a video. In fact, they said that it was not an attempt to move a high-profile prisoner to something, but nevertheless, we don't want to comment too much on it, but we know that the Port of Spain prison, they were in the spotlight. On Wednesday, officers were seen kicking people on the ground. That was Wednesday. Today is Friday. Prison officer shot dead. I am not aligning, but nevertheless, those of you who have been monitoring the social networks and whatnot, you would have realized that people started to post all sorts of things saying that who will dead, this one, that one. Remember the video? Go ahead. Go ahead. Audio. Listen, man, we can't confirm as yet if the Vindra prison officer too was part of that exercise, what role he played. We can't confirm that. But there are senior officers whose face you can clearly see. Because remember, after that video went up, the sister of one of the men on the ground called the program and said that they wanted justice and whatnot. And then people started to post, make statements on Facebook. One of these statements, look at one of these statements. Go ahead. All right, we're still trying to put that together. Now, it was just brought to my attention that the police has just made a direct link into this shooting and connecting it to what took place at the state prison. So, ladies and gentlemen, news before the news. This is shots off Frederick Street right now in the vicinity of CIC. Oxford Street is on the other side. One prison officer shot dead. I'm still trying to get a photo of him. Those of you, in fact, open up your lines. Hi, good evening. You are live on Crime Watch. Hi, good evening. 671-4062. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch. So this is very, very unfortunate. Just as I said, just in a matter of time, soon we'll have judicial officers. I mean, you remember, after that was highlighted, leave it right there, after that was highlighted, you remember people started to make serious threats to prison officers with respect to the incident that took place on Wednesday. Open up the lines. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch. You remember the post? Go ahead. Hi, caller. Good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Go ahead.
But I'm hardly hearing you. You're sounding way out far.
I am hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Allen, I want to congratulate you for all the good works that you're doing. And you're certainly a blessed person. But sometimes when you're talking, you come across as if you're inciting violence. And you have to be careful what you're saying.
Hold on.
You know?
When did I come across that I was inciting violence?
Yes, sometimes you come across
Like when?
if you're
Tell me now.
inciting violence because,
Tell me when.
you know, it's like a rebellious kind of thing going on, who shoot who and who come back to shoot who. Prison officers, and they're doing their jobs, policemen doing their jobs. You know, so you have to be very careful what you're saying,
Right,
and God bless
again.
you always.
Oh, Lord. Because we connected the dots with the shooting in Central. So, of course, you must want to know how this one died, how the people with... So, what... I don't understand. How can I incite when I showed you the people under the sheet, how Sarah Joseph and the next guy, Stars, ended up together? Who killed who? It's not a matter. We inciting. People need to know. So, everybody needs to know where the shooters among them. You remember after that Wednesday incident, people started to post all kind of statement on Facebook, yeah? Look at it. This was just one of the, I know where a few turnkey living. Any info, contact me. This advantage has to stop once and for all. This is just one of the, a profile by name of Malik, and then they had others. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Allen.
Hi, good evening.
I want to just say something to the general public. This officer is not one of those officers. I'm not going to even dispute that it has officers that do those type of stuff. But Mr. Budram is not one of those officers. And I just want to let them know, yes, it is a repercussion of the actions taken place on Tuesday because they said that officers are going to fall. I am saying to you today that Mr. Budram is not an officer that would do something like that. He's an officer who sticks to protocol. This is just a very sad situation.
But let me ask you something. Mr. Budram, apparently he had just left his job at the state prison, and he was driving out. So it's very, very What's the name of the officer? What's his first name? Where is he from? Open up the lines. Hi, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a fast break. When we come back, remember, download your app. Remember, you can look at Crime Watch anywhere in the world on your iPhone, on those Apple devices. Just go to your Apple store and download the I.A.N app. All those of you up in the Caribbean who might have Android phone, Samsung phone, any kind of phone, go to your app store and download I.A.N so you can look at Crime Watch. So you don't need to be in front of a television set. You don't need to wait till 10 o'clock to look at Crime Watch. You can look at it on your phone. Let's take a break.
Do you own a restaurant or food outlet or supermarket? Then what are you waiting for? Get your business on the most cutting-edge, customer-friendly, results-guaranteed food delivery app in the Caribbean. Food Now TT. Food Now TT is offering free registration on our delivery app. Just call us at 222-9854 or 6621-951 or click our website at foodnowtt.com.
Hurry down to Army Variety Store this carnival. Get 25 to 50% off everything. Located at corner Derrick Road and Chase Village, Chaguanas. Call us today, 671-3001. For all your your air conditioning needs, check out Neil Cool today. We carry brands like Lennox, Daikin, Comfy, Amana, and Delta air conditioners. Lennox 2500, Comfy 2250 installed. Daikin is back in stock, 12,000 BTUs for 2800. So call us today, 748-4122. Neil Cool Air Conditioning Services, quality brands, professional services.
Matai Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesaler and retailer for all 4x4 SUV and car accessories. Come check us out for our new arrivals on body kit etc. Located at 3 Hassanali Trace, Lower Barkport. Contact 289-4901, 360-8773 or 484-7467.
Tire Clinic. Get the best quality tires in the country at affordable prices at our branches in Couva, Shogunas and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need.
Tower Farm Guest House, newest location at Shivan Drive, Sandy Grande. Enter unnoticed with that special someone. Secure parking and fully air-conditioned rooms. Open 24 hours for your convenience. Visit us today or call 299-3268.
Get the right deal right now at Racetrack Wheels, the biggest wheels and tire distributor in the country. Yes, nobody gives you the right deal at the right price other than Racetrack Wheels. 2 massive locations, number 331 Eastern Main Road, Aruca, and number 82 Bucco Road, Mount Pleasant, Tobago. So hurry and shop now or call us at 642-1539. Racetrack Wheels.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. News before the news. Prison officer shot dead. Murder toll is now 54. Murder toll is now 54. Those of you who are locked on all over the world, London, New York, Miami, in the Caribbean, especially good evening to you. The murder toll in Trinidad and Tobago is now 54. For the same time last year, the 26th of January 2017, the murder toll was 48. So ladies and gentlemen, again, prison officer shot dead. Prison officer shot dead, Devindra. Now, I'm just showing you his vehicle. Port of Spain to prison officer Bujam was shot dead. 2125 was shot and killed in Port of Spain in the vicinity of CIC. In fact, he was driving a gray SUV, a CRV to be exact. That is a CRV, Socks? Yeah, a CRV. If you have any information, if you saw anything, WhatsApp me. Remember, you can go straight to my website, ianallen.org, and send me information anonymously. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Wonderful job. But as the lady said earlier, sometimes when you talk, for instance, like when people call yesterday, the relative of the prisoner who was allegedly being beaten, as we saw in the video, and sometimes it sounds like the prison officer just beating them just so for nothing, and that does not be the case. And sometimes just go about just say things that it will cause people to just go along with what they're hearing and not to find out exactly what's going on.
All right, sir.
Okay,
No problem.
thanks.
Yeah, thanks again. What have you to say about this incident? Let's focus on, you see, I am realer, and what I said, they must be treated humanely, and where they are right now, in the prison, the law is taking its course. And at the end of the day, we are part of the Geneva Convention. We are part of all the different nations that has joined that, where prisoners, those in state custody, must be treated a particular way, despite their crime, the crimes that they committed and whatnot. We are part of the Geneva Convention. This is not the Wild Wild West. And what I said, they must be treated humanely. You cannot get emotional. Whatever I mean, we do have a crime problem, but that doesn't say we should take up a gun and start shooting who we perceive to be a criminal. You understand? Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Yeah, Mr. Allen.
Yeah,
what's going on now? He's a man, no, but I'm well good. And you see that woman we call him, but he's a nice man. Probably he's a nice man home by them. But I see in the jail, they just be home loving, but when they're in the jail, they just treat prisoners like dogs. Okay. You hear what I'm telling you? You see them is the right thing. We're coming for them, is what happening to them now. Them looking for what happening to them. Because let me tell you something. Home, them that be the most loving people in the district. And you see behind them walls, nobody in Trinidad and Tobago does know what will be going on behind them walls. I could tell you from my experience because I've been there. I've been there for years. And I could tell you about the advantage them Tonki and them does the people. Them deserve to them.
Did you ever have any encounter with Mr. Bujram?
But he never do me anything, but I see him advantage prisoners already with my own eyes.
Okay. Thanks again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand that, as you know, this is a live program. All over the world is locked on, and we are giving everybody a platform. This is a platform. The lines are open. You can say what you want. You understand? At the end of the day, nobody deserves to be murdered like that. Nobody deserves to. You can't shoot somebody like that, an officer like that, and it's very, very unfortunate. In fact, it's Friday. He might be going home, you know. And this is Frederick Street here. If you go back to the photo here, you'll realize that this is Frederick Street, CIC, the school right opposite here. This is CIC school. This is government ministry. This is what building is this again, boy? And if you go down further, that is Park Street. The next street is Park Street. That is a stone throw away from Park Street. The street before that is Oxford Street. I'm sure a lot of people know Oxford Street. In fact, yeah, Oxford Street. This is Oxford Street on the other side there. This is the vehicle there. Open up the lines. Hi, good evening. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. I.A.N.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I just call you to tell you, don't bother with that first lady, right? She didn't have nothing to do. You're a God-sent man. We love you. We believe in you. And you're doing the right thing. If not for you, we would know nothing what's going on in this country.
Yes,
you keep up the good work and God will richly bless you.
Amen, amen. Thank you very much, caller. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing here, breaking news in Trinidad, security officer shot dead. This is news before the news, News, so there's nothing to watch after 7. Those of you who have your phones right now, those of you who might have friends who have their iPhones, encourage them to download the app, the I.A.N. Any device, any Android device, also on the black boxes, am I right? The black box? The Android boxes. The Android boxes, I don't know why I keep saying black box. The Android boxes, you can now download the app. Also, ladies and gentlemen, any Apple device, this is breaking news. Prison officer shot dead. Now, I can't confirm that is it. Even though one caller said that, ladies and gentlemen, remember the Vinger family, they're all locked on. It's very, very unfortunate. But we remember the Vinger works at Port of Spain prison. The last time, in fact, Wednesday, the incident brought national attention. Now, we can't say if whatever took place on Wednesday, if it is a reprisal or if Devinger was shot dead to send a signal to his colleagues. You understand? Because you don't know if the gunman was just waiting on Frederick Street there and he knowing that he just waiting for a prison officer to come out, and maybe Devinger was the one who was coming out to go home, and he shot Devinger. So we can't say Devinger was part of the group of officers during the exercise that was beating the men on the ground. Go back to the video. So those of you, this is an incident that took place on Wednesday. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm just sad to see that how the prison officer, he died and stuff like that, but from experience, somebody putting into me was there, and he's not a nice person in the prison, So I just tell him from experience, but it's not nice neither how they took his life. I'm not saying it is good, but something right now the place is lawless. It's bad. It's killing police. Like you're not hearing police killing bandits hardly, but I mean to say, too much of lawlessness.
Let me tell you something. Thanks again, caller, but I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you this. It is total lawlessness. Total lawlessness. And you don't know, this place hot for the weekend, you know. Listen, man, this place very hot for the weekend, you know. You see this? You see this? This place very, very hot for the weekend, and you need to be alert, on high alert for the weekend. You need to be on high alert for the weekend. And just as I mentioned to somebody with respect to the commissioner, Whoever they pick, we will work with. Open up the lines. Hi, good evening. Breaking news again. Prison officer shot dead. What the views of the callers, they are not the views of Crime Watch and the network. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Good evening, Mr. Allen.
Hi, go ahead.
Well, it couldn't get worse. It
couldn't get worse. It couldn't get worse.
It couldn't get... And you know something? If you really check, you watch that tape with the prison officers kicking the guy.
Let's go, yeah.
Right? But why they didn't show what happened before that?
That is
Maybe
a good
they
point.
attacked the prison officers. I mean, you know,
That is a very good
sometimes things
point.
happen and you do things without thinking. You understand?
Your song
and these
just said me.
prisoners, they go in there for all kind of crime and they want VIP treatment. If all they wanted proper treatment, all they would have do the right thing.
Amen.
You understand? But you keep up the good work and
You come good. Yeah, I love that. I love that because where the next part of the video? But then again, you can't commit a crime to solve a crime. That is not how it works. But the bigger picture is what would have been very nice to the in-house prison photographers and camera crew. We call them in-house camera crew in prison. Where's the next part of the video? If you were working for me, you would have been sent home already because I would have wanted to see the first part. So I will understand the person who taped this. He got some good licks in the night for taping. When they went looking for his phone. But nevertheless, the part I would have loved to see is how they ended up on the ground. What was the confrontation between the prison officers and the prisoners inside the cell? We did not get to see that. All we saw is this part. But even though this might say 100 words, 100 things might go through your mind, thoughts might go through your mind. What you need to understand, what went on before, which was a very good point the woman made here. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Hello?
Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Yeah. I thought I have something for the prison officers to be them in, to do something before. So they'll show you one side story. But if I was a prison officer, the night, I'll lighten up all them inside. Thank you.
No, but you're right. You're right. You're right. No, he's right. The prison officer that caller is right. You have to send. And you see, I will tell you something. I will tell you something. I.A.N. and I tell you this today. Not because a prisoner. You see, that's what I said yesterday. Nobody cares about law and order. Nobody cares about law and order. People who try to make sure there's law and order in the system, in the police system, where prisoners are concerned, people don't like that. And it's a clear indication that once you try to fix it, you get gone down. So what about the police officers now who have been receiving threats on a daily basis? You understand? What about the police officers, ladies and gentlemen? Which means to say that could be you don't know if a police officer might rob a prisoner the wrong way, or might go on a block and hot up everybody's head, or might arrest somebody, ladies and gentlemen, like what we did today with a deadbeat father. But ladies and gentlemen, up to last night, if you go back to last night, I don't know if you have any video or photos of it, but a police officer, ladies and gentlemen, a police officer, an off-duty police officer was abducted, robbed and beaten by bandits. So last night you had a police officer, a police corporal assigned to the Pinto Road Police Post in Arima, was abducted, robbed and beaten by men as he attempted to enter his Tunapuna home early morning. The officer was handcuffed, bundled in a trunk of his vehicle by the suspects who ambushed him as he entered home. So that was last night. So why? Well, just now it might be magistrate, just now it might be judges. And we need to be real. We need to be real. Last night was a police officer, an officer of justice, an officer who dispenses justice. Today, a prison officer. Last night was a police officer. Today is a prison officer. Thank God the prison officer survived. Today, thank God the police officer survived. Today, the prison officer shot dead. Look at the photos. Open up the lines. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a fast break. When we come back, we'll continue.
PNV Marketing Company Limited is the premier provider of new and high-quality roll-on, roll-off vehicles. We carry a wide range of new and roll-off hybrid and non-hybrid vehicles. We service all the vehicles we sell. Our staff is fully certified and we guarantee 100% customer satisfaction. We have hundreds of vehicles in stock and financing is available. Visit us today.
Passage to Asia presents its all-inclusive Fête 2018.
Saturday, February 3rd, Trinidad Hilton Poolside.
From 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
As we present to you, Voice.
With Tilly Nadan,
I.A.N the band.
Thomas, and DJ Sheriff. Tickets available at Passage to Asia Restaurant, Chivonas. Extra Foods, Grand Bazaar, Arima, and Chivonas. Dave Sivalak Hardware, Penal. S.C. Prasad Hardware, Marabella. Jumbo Foods, Barataria. Wings Restaurant, B-Mobile at Hilton. And Wesley's Dago Martin. For ticket info, call 222-4727.
Mirage Air Conditioning Limited, we stock some of the industry's best brands like Global Refrigerants, Uniworld, US Motors and others. Mirage Air Conditioning, affordability, quality service, 40 years of excellence, items at incredibly reduced prices. Located at 42 Orang West Main Road, San Juan. Call 674-6348 or www.mirageaclimited.com.
Advanced hydrodynamics enable Bridgestone tires to collect surface water in circumferential grooves, then disperse it laterally to help you stay in control in wet conditions. Because we're the only part of your car's safety system that actually touches the road. Engineered with your safety in mind. Bridgestone.
Distributed by Brandtech Limited.
Majestic rechargeable 18-inch standing fan. Runs without electricity up to 30 hours. Remote USB outlets, LED lights, 5-speed with a timer and can be charged with solar panels. For wholesale inquiries, contact Sombrosco Import Limited at 665-6505 and 271-8702.
Bakery Treats is known for its great baked products and service with a smile. We offer a variety of breads, cakes and pastries. We use no preservatives or added chemicals for maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So visit us today. Put Bakery Treats on top of your shopping list.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, again, man shot dead at his home near PIARCO International Airport. 33-year-old Francis Stafford was shot and killed last night. Last night there was a murder at Building 9, OROPUNE Gardens, PIARCO. He was shot by two assailants shortly before 12 midnight. Two men, both armed with guns, approached Stafford and several other persons and opened fire on them. So, ladies and gentlemen, last night, all this happened here. All this happened. Francis Stafford shot dead. A police officer bundled into trunk, beaten by his assailants. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch. Those of you who are looking at us, breaking news. A prison officer was just shot dead on FEDRICK Street. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Good afternoon, Mr. Allen.
Good afternoon.
I will not say you are not doing a good job, as I always say to you. But I agree with the very first lady who called. Let's take, for instance, the Prime Minister. When you're talking and you have to mention the Prime Minister, you do not even address him properly. You are showing the public that you are canvassing against him and the PNM for the opposition.
Come back to me. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Eh? Don't rile him up. But the way this country running now, I can't have respect for nobody in office. I can't have respect for the Minister of National Security. I can't have respect for the Prime Minister, who's the head of the Security Council. You understand? 54 murders, judicial officers being murdered, prison officer murdered, police thrown into trunk last night, beaten, a man shot dead. And it's not, okay. And I'm not canvassing for nobody. Do you understand? Not because you are friends with people, you are canvassing for them. You understand? The opposition leader and I, we are good friends. You know, like friends, you remember when Rowdy come back from America, wherever he went, Kwaito, and he said he called his good friend Nazim Baksh. People have friends. And not everything is politics. If I go by the lady, we don't talk politics, we eat food and watch TV. It's friends. You understand? So I'm not canvassing for nobody. And if I do have respect for them, that is my personal view, because I am upset the way this country is being run. In this 2x2 little nation we have here, it's so small, you can't even change your mind in it. 54 people already dead. So people need to understand what is going on in this country. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really care who like me and who don't like me, you know. But I have a job to do to let the people know what's going on in this country. Let them know every murder is connected to another murder. Yesterday, how we did it, every murder is connected to another murder. Why should I respect somebody who has no respect for our women? Why should I have respect for somebody who has no respect for our people, the people who have lost their jobs? Why should I have respect for somebody who does not care about the petroleum workers soon to be sent home? Tell me now, tell me. 54 people already dead, and I should have respect? But in developed countries, ladies and gentlemen, you must understand, they refer to sometimes the leaders by their last name. It's only we in Trinidad have this thing about title, you know, and ranks, you know. If you don't call me Mr. Allen, hello, call me Mr. Allen. What are you calling me Mr. Allen for? People call Obama, Trump. But, you know, we have this thing. We like position. We like title. We thought feelings. You understand? So, ladies and gentlemen, again, caller, you need to understand, these are the people responsible for where we are. It is going into 3 years now, and we have not seen a change. We have not seen betterment in this country. Who to blame? Had I been the minister, had I been the prime minister, I could bet your bottom dollar. The little access I might have. How much results you will see? How much results you have seen, sorry. How many results you have seen already with the little access that I might have. Even though maybe in the past week or two, it has increased a bit, my access has increased. The doors of access has been opened to me a little wider. Just to let you all know that. Open up the lines. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch.
Yes, Mr. Allen?
Yeah.
Yes, good evening. Here what happening, Mr. Allen. You see behind closed doors, people would be amazed to know what is going on behind closed doors with prison officers. I am an ex-prisoner, and let me tell you something. In prison, you see a lot of the times prison officers use an excessive force on prisoners. I am not saying any prisoner or whoever have any right to kill any prisoner.
I'm not saying that. You're on the right.
Is this, right? Behind closed doors is hell. And beside that, I want to let you know this. Hats off to you because you have taught the police of Trinidad and Tobago real policing.
Real what? Yeah. So, ladies, we need to fix this country. I don't condone that. You think I condone a man stand up outside somebody jump and shooting them when they're leaving home? That is somebody's son. That is somebody's father. That is somebody's husband. I don't know this. I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he has a family. But that is somebody's relative. That is somebody's relative. And people are watching right now all over the world. In Miami, London. I don't know if you have family in America. Or maybe the Caribbean. And they're all watching in horror to see their relative shot dead outside work in a vehicle. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't condone that. And I really hope the perpetrators or perpetrator and those responsible and those who orchestrated that. You see, and I will tell you something, you know. I will tell you something. Hold on, I will tell you something. I said something today. Where in the world, ladies and gentlemen, you will see prisoners on Facebook, on Instagram, taking selfie, Skyping, WhatsApping, phone sex, pictures with rolling weed, all kind of alcohol, eating chicken and chips. Where? Have you ever seen lockup in America? Have you ever seen lockup in London? Have you ever, you know, people no phone, but only in Trinidad. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we have allowed has come today to haunt us because of cell phone in prisons. That is all. Because of cell phone in prison. So when I talk, don't get vexed. Because of cell phone in prison. What the hell a prisoner doing with a cell phone? And it's like more and more. Recently I saw a prison officer, apparently his locker was searched and they got weed and cigarettes. His face should have been on the front page of the newspaper. Under my watch, his face would have been on the front page of the newspaper because they are hard-working prison officers. But how come you could have phone? Watch it there. Marijuana cigarette. Do you know how much a pack of cigarette there? A pack of cigarette, ladies and gentlemen. One cigarette goes for $100. Am I right? So, ladies and gentlemen, a pack of cigarette is $2,000. When you take it to prison, it's $2,000. But how much you paying for a pack of cigarette now? Stocks you smoke. How much is a cigarette? $25, $30. So you invest in $25 and making $1,975. So ladies and gentlemen, all I need, I could stay inside and just sell two pack of cigarette and make at least $4,000. So best I stay in prison. So prisoners pay their lawyers by selling drugs and cigarettes. But where? But that is why it has come back to haunt us. It has come back to haunt us. Why leave the cell phones? Why? So ladies and gentlemen, again, just to let you all know, man found dead in Maracas, St. Joseph. Cops suspect drug overdose. The body of a man who police suspect lived on the street was found earlier today at the Wharf Trace, Maracas, St. Joseph. Police suspect the victim may have died from an overdose. So all this took place earlier today. This is news before the news. Wharf Trace, a man was found dead on the road. Now, they can't say if it's murder. They need to, after the autopsy, they will be able to determine the cause of death. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, also, just to let you all know, Mount Lambert murder victim, 27, Negus Thompson, has been identified as the man who was found with a sheet around his neck at Mount Lambert Circle in Peterborough on Monday, the 15th. This is the picture, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Negus Thompson has been identified as the man who was found with a sheet wrapped around his neck at Mount Lambert Circle in the Bangladesh community. Road farmer was identified by his mother, Bina Samaru. His mother is seeking assistance from the public in locating Thompson's father, Janelle Thompson, of Valsing, before she makes funeral arrangement. And just to let you all know, ladies and gentlemen, escaped murder accused back in custody faces a string of charges. Hey, I tell you, but you see, people who might call and say I'm inciting all kind of thing. When I tell you what's going on in El Socorro and Aranjuez, men in Muslim garb, American, all the embassies paying attention, the most ammo they found for this year, or maybe December, it was just in El Socorro, all the guns, high-powered guns, what going on in El Socorro. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, there's about 100 maybe, how to put it, 100 individuals in Golden Grove who have ISIS affiliation, who have joined ISIS while in there, who have maybe made an oath, who want to get out. Just in Golden Grove, 100. It is alleged, ladies and gentlemen, and hearing this for the very first time, a certain senior prison officer, he's considering leaving the country or maybe resigning from that because he said he's fearful. They are fearful. And today, one of their colleagues shot dead on FEDRICK Street. We need to find the perpetrators. And ladies and gentlemen, if we go back, what exactly do you know Hamilton Smith? Hamilton Small. Sorry, I apologize about that. Hamilton Small, the murder accused who escaped from Arima Magistrate Court on Tuesday, November 28, and was wanted by police in connection with the murder and several robberies, break-ins in the Arima district, has been recaptured. Smalls of Racecourse Road, Karapo Village, Arima, was held by officers of Northeastern Division Task Force, seated in the vehicle at the gas station along Arangwes. Where was he found? Come on, where was he found? In Arangwes. What he do in Arangwes? He could have been in Arima. So which means to say he had to be based in Arangwes, El Socorro. He had to be based in there. What exactly? And you know, the government is not paying attention. So that is why when you tell me respect is not bought, respect does not come by a position. How you live your life, people will respect you. Respect does not come by money. So if you want me respect. But somebody said if you put on good clothes, bandits go respect you. Oh, please. When I start to kill bandits, when police start to deal with bandits and let them know what time it is, take away the gun and deal with them accordingly. I don't want to use the word kill. I apologize about that because there are a lot of people. But we have a situation in our hands, and the bandits and the criminals that are responsible for creating this atmosphere, they should be dealt with accordingly. Let's take up.
For all your air conditioning needs, check out Neil Cool today. We carry brands like Lennox, Daikin, Comfy, Amana, and Delta air conditioners. Lennox 2500, Comfy 2250 installed. Daikin is back in stock, 12,000 BTUs for 2800. So call us today, 748-4122. Neil Cool Air Conditioning Services. Quality brands, professional services.
Tire Clinic. Get the best quality tires in the country at affordable prices at our branches in Couva, Shogunas and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need.
The Wellness Center introduces the Superfricator. It instantly removes skin growths and irregularities like skin tags, age spots, ring flesh, and spots from the face and body. Using non-surgical procedures, the Wellness Center can instantly lift the face, bust, arms, and legs, treat psoriasis and dermatitis, remove puffy dark eye circles, double chin, wrinkles, and even restore bald, thinning hair. Call Mrs. Bagan, a qualified medical esthetician with over 30 years of experience, for a microscopic consultation. Call 673-7418.
Do you own a restaurant or food outlet or supermarket? Then what are you waiting for? Get your business on the most cutting-edge, customer-friendly, results-guaranteed food delivery app in the Caribbean, Food Now TT. Food Now TT is offering free registration on all delivery apps. Just call us at 222-9854 or 6621-951 or click our website at foodnowtt.com.
Tower Farm Guest House. Newest location at Shivan Drive, Sandy Grande. Enter unnoticed with that special someone. Secure parking and fully air-conditioned rooms. Open 24 hours for your convenience. Visit us today or call 299-3268.
Get the right deal right now at Racetrack Wheels, the biggest wheels and tire distributor in the country. Yes, nobody gives you the right deal at the right price other than Racetrack Wheels. Two massive locations, number 331 Eastern Main Road, Aruca, and number 82 Bucco Road, Mount Pleasant, Tobago. So hurry and shop now or call us at 642-1539. Racetrack Wheels.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm just trying to see if, again, those of you who have just joined us, a prison officer was just shot minutes ago in Port of Spain. These are just the photos. We just sent a camera crew there. Yeah, you want to give me an extension? Yeah. Take my audio down. So ladies and gentlemen, we just called O'Brien from Synergy. As you know, there's a contractual arrangement with Synergy and I. So we just, asked for 10 minutes. a 10 minutes extension. Again, those of you who have just joined us all over the world, I am telling you exactly what's happening in this country. Last night, ladies and gentlemen, a police officer, off-duty cop, abducted, robbed, and beaten and pushed into a trunk. He has been identified. In fact, the corporal who is assigned to Pinto Road, Arima. So last time was a prison officer, a police officer. Today, prison officer shot dead. Tomorrow, tell me, you see, we are in denial, you know, when people say that we are inciting this and inciting that, we are in denial. You are in denial. There are people who are responsible, who have been placed into strategic office as the Minister of National Security, the Prime Minister, who's the head of the Security Council, which means to say, what coming in, what going out, all on the sea, everything, they're in charge of. So you can't tell me I'm lobbying for this one and that one. Open up the lines. Also, ladies and gentlemen, man shot dead. Man shot dead, ladies and gentlemen. A 27-year-old, Nagas Thompson. We need to move a little fast, Socks. We need to move a little fast. Also, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have just joined us, the prisoner, Hamilton Small, and just as I said, what going on in El Socorro? What going on in El Socorro and Aranjuez? Who preparing somebody is cooking something up there. Why are all these criminals, why are all the guns found, the majority of guns found in El Socorro and Aranjuez, that little area there? What's going on? What is Hamilton Small? Who is he hanging out with? Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime. Just to let you know, hats off to Northeastern Division. Hats off to Northeastern Division, ladies and gentlemen. Hats off to them. Also, ladies and gentlemen, a man was shot late last night. Francis Stafford was shot late last night. And just to let you know also, Dad survives second hit after his daughter was killed 2 years ago. Now, this took place, let me tell you when, on Tuesday. There was a shooting, ladies and gentlemen, at Partner Village in Digo Martin. A person, Andy Bailey, was killed. And a 27-year-old man, Karen Paul. But I will tell you something. I know sit down and put it together. But that is the same Karen Paul whose daughter, if we could get it shot inside the room where the bullet passed through the curtain. Help him, please. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember this little girl? Let me tell you what. Kira Singh was shot dead on the 17th of November, 2015. Her father, ladies and gentlemen, was shot. And he's critical. He got shot on Tuesday. Listen to me, on Tuesday. While his friend, ladies and gentlemen, Andy Bailey died. But I know that Karen Paul daughter was shot dead 2 years ago, because I remember I went to Karen Paul's house 2 years ago. Look me inside the house when the daughter was shot dead. Oh, I'm sweating. All right.
Take baby carrot and get ready for him.
Oh, yeah, wait for them. How are you going? You see me, right? Hey, you come down here, girl. Right? When you finish, open up? All right. Sorry. This is not going well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where they started to shoot. Right? The child was lying right here. Right across there. As you can see, the child was sleeping right there with the mommy. Oh boy. This is not a good. That is how I am connecting it. Because Now, on Tuesday, there was a shooting. The child father was shot. He's critical under police guard. Police protection, sorry. His friend, the taxi driver, was shot dead, Andy Bailey. But when I realized it was Karen Paul, I said, but wait now. His daughter in 2015, November the 17th, they shot his daughter. But I do not believe that from 2015, 17th of November 2015, you have the 16, you have 2016, you have 2017, you have 2018. I do not believe that, now, there are rumors the same person who shot the daughter, who made an attempt to kill him, to kill they had no intentions of killing the baby now. They had intentions of killing Karen Paul, the child father. I don't believe that is the same person, because this is Trinidad. No long talk and waiting years to kill nobody. Quick business. You understand? They wouldn't wait 2 years to come out, which means that he had to be under the ground for 2 years. He had to be locked up in a room for 2 years and he now come out. So it can't be the person who was responsible for killing his daughter on the 17th of November 2015. So just to let you all know, in 2015, 17th of November, I did visit Karen Paul's house when they shot his daughter. Only to figure out now, but that is the same Karen Paul. Today I sat down in my studio. I say, wait, that is the same Karen Paul who was shot on Tuesday and his friend died. So it's in everything tie up. So it's not a matter we are inciting, ladies and gentlemen. Also today, in fact, how much minutes is the deadbeat father? Ladies and gentlemen, today, just today, let me explain how I got involved. I'd given a particular guy some work and whatnot, and while we were fixing our studio, he came for a job along with our next crew, and they were painting, and I found out that he wasn't taking care of his child, and he wasn't, and I had a long talk, and I said, boy, you must take care of your child, and whatever happened with you and the woman, but don't be angry with the child. And that's it. And I only found out today that in fact, there was a warrant for him. And well, it's Shogunas. I just got information, and we must send a very strong signal to deadbeat fathers. You cannot be neglecting your children like that. To bring up a child right now, it costs about maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a month. How some of these single mothers, how you expect the mothers and them to go do a job while you lying in and enjoying your life? No, we need to send a signal. Those of you who have deadbeat fathers, let me know where the warrant was taken out from. Give me the information, bring the pictures. Let them end up like this. Go to it. This is I.A.N. In connection with a man that we have been looking for. His name is Neil Anil Gangaprasad. A warrant was taken out on October 31st. It is a commitment warrant. He's owing $22,000 in maintenance. Why I'm going after this guy? Because I know the situation. And I have spoken to this individual numerous times. And he has a daughter, a little girl, and he just, even Christmas, he did nothing. All the time, just nothing. And there is a warrant for him, and I just saw him. Somebody just called me, and I'm going to pick him up now. I'm going to meet somebody in the police station here, and we are going for him. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, if you have information about deadbeat dad, get in contact with us. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Neil being taken into custody. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're doing for deadbeat fathers out there. We're going after them.
Behind your back. Let's take out the wallet, right? Do not come here when I deal with it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back just to let you all know that the prisoner was, in fact, it happened so fast. It happened so fast that, you know, that I just had to meet up this police officer. Right, that thing happened so fast, but nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, the guy, the deadbeat father, who has outstanding warrant, was taken into custody. This is a signal again that we are not tolerating deadbeat fathers. It's very hard to bring up a child in this country. The economy and whatnot is, I mean, it's not that good. There are a lot of single mothers who has 2 jobs. And we must send a strong signal. Wherever you get your cold, go back and blow your nose. Do not leave these women and them. When we're not this yard fall mentality. When all they feel like they could make chicken in one yard and go to our next yard and life goes on. No, I would leave that yard and come and drag you out of the next yard and bring you back in the first yard and let you take care of the chickens and them. You understand? So just to let you all know, if you have deadbeat fathers, we are going after them. Again, headline news, news before the news. Ladies and gentlemen, a prison officer was shot dead minutes ago on FEDRICK Street near the Port of Spain prison. Open up the lines. Murder toll is now 54. For the same period last year, open up the lines. Hi, good evening. You are live on Crime Watch. Also, ladies and gentlemen, man found dead in Maracas, St. Joseph. Cops suspect drug overdose. Again, this is breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, prison officer shot dead. Remember, you don't have to wait for 7 o'clock. Once you have your cell phones, start downloading the app. Tell your grannies, tell your grandpas, tell the grandchildren, make sure and download the app for you. Maybe you might be an elderly who are locked on to Crime Watch every day, and you might have your iPhone or your iPad or your smart or your tablet. You can now download I.A.N from any app store, from your Google App Store and your iPhone. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch. And we have a new worker in the house. He's back like the prodigal son. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch. Hello? Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch. Hi, caller. Go ahead.
Hi, good night, Ian Allen. You have to understand in this timing, right? Right now in Trinidad, it's so unjust, especially in all the government places.
It's true.
Like Hoover Magistrate Court. You understand? So that's why these people again shoot down like magistrate and stuff like that, right? So you have to understand it's too unjust as a single parent, right?
Why you
said a lawyer?
Why you said Hoover Magistrate? What's happening at Hoover Magistrate? Hello?
Yes, Mr. Ian Allen. Hello?
Why you said Hoover Magistrate?
Hello?
Why you said Hoover Magistrate?
Yes, Mr. Ian, you have to understand these days, right? It's so unjust in these government places like Hoover Magistrate Court.
But why you saying
right?
Hoover Magistrate? I don't understand. Why you keep saying Hoover
Magistrate?
Magistrate?
Yes, it's so unjust. You're going through maintenance, right? Court order is made. The magistrate is not doing nothing towards it. I had a hearing last year. The magistrate put off my case for 4 months, you understand, concerning children's school books and stuff. And he was like, what you want me to do, ma'am? So what is your position over there? You understand? And then I have deadly father as well, right? I came into you 1, 2 times.
Do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant? Is there a warrant out for the child father? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, yeah? And that's why I'm very concerned. I'm not going to tolerate anybody kind of inciting anything here because she kept saying Hoover Magistrate. I just wanted to know maybe if she wanted to send a signal, but she just was complaining. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, it's no fault of the magistrate because there's a backlog. There is a backlog. But what the Attorney General should have been doing, what the Chief Justice should have been doing, is making sure, come together and see how they could have had maybe night court, circuit court. You understand? Go have night court for maybe a firearm court, a separate firearm court that only matters with firearm. whole night, maybe Friday, Saturday, 3 days, 3 times in the night, 3 times in the week, tight security. So all those firearm cases, you go here, night court, all kind of thing, because we have too much cases. So sometimes these magistrates must be frustrated and whatnot. Until the magistrate in Couva doesn't know where to discredit you, whoever might be the magistrate, but nevertheless, I mean, I understand what's going on in this dance. You see, some people might just talk, but they don't understand the bigger picture. There's 1,000 backlog. People going to court 101 times, 200 times. Open up the lines. Hi, good evening. You're live on Crime Watch. Also, just to let you all know.
Good afternoon, Mr. Allen.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Allen.
Yeah.
I want to tell you that I personally want to thank you. Could you remember there was a lady that ran to you and I that you were leaving the studio? I am that person. I had an incident with my younger sister years ago, and had it not been for you, my little sister would not have been found today. In less than 2 days, my little sister was home. She was a minor. She was relocated. The tactical, everybody came and supported me through you. And what I have to say with regards to the police officer, I am saddened that what happened. I am saddened by the killing of the prison officer. But these people, Mr. Allen, nobody not walking up to you and shoot you just so because you ain't had no cocoa in the sun. If they condoning it, you want to sell these things, how the prisoners and them getting cigarettes and weed, they encouraging it, they hiding it, they encouraging it, the prisoners and them, so it backfire.
That is a good point.
So people who want to call and condemn you, Mr. Allen, only when it hit the doorstep, Johnny was a good boy, because everybody's son, innocent and until proven guilty.
True.
They're robbing and killing people. When they get murdered, my son ain't do that. So, Mr. Allen, I love you, and I could testify, and I could tell you, you're doing a good job from day one, and I'm going to stand by that, my entire household. Thank you.
Again. There's not enough paid caller, yeah, and it just goes on. It just goes on, and it just goes on. And that's why I tell people, as somebody said, Johnny, senior superintendent, former senior superintendent, and we were just chatting today, and I told him, I said, I can talk what I want on my phone, Mr. Abraham. And he said, well, maybe they're recording. But I said, but I not selling no guns and I not selling no drugs. But I want not anybody could hear. Maybe if you tap my phone, maybe you might hear, maybe phone. But what are you doing? Is you seeing it? You might hear a little bacchanal thing, but other than me, I not in no bacchanal. I am not in no bacchanal thing. I not selling no, I not cutting no flick in the end. I not cutting getting a gun and say, how much you give me? I not in that. So me I have nothing to hide. I have nothing. When police came here, police said come looking for no gun. Police said break down them came for information. Wherever your police come by your house for information. They come for gun and drugs. They break down it off for information. You need to understand that. Ladies and gentlemen, just take away from the crime. You all remember it had this party on Sunday, boy? Saturday, soca. That is where Socks had gone. Soca. And he leaves Shana home and he come and say, you're working with me. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, it had a group of young fellas that had given a young man money to get tickets. We want to believe that the young man is the son of the minister. He is the son of Fitzgerald Hines. But I know the young man as a fella preaching and talking. Himani Hines. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, if we could get... Now, try to get the person on the... In fact, give me a number. I am going to call a number right now. And let me see if this person will answer. Hold on. Hold on. I am calling on the 68. Right, go ahead. Hold on, hand me that mic. I want to call this guy. Let this guy hand me that mic and let this guy explain to me. Go ahead, hold on. His phone is ringing. All right, that phone is ringing. Go ahead. Hello? Yeah, go ahead. Hello? Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good afternoon.
Tell me exactly what went on with you and the minister's son. Go ahead, and these soccer tickets. Put up the picture for me, please.
We gave him the cash for the tickets. And we had given him cash for 23 tickets. And we collected, and that's for male tickets, and then we gave him cash for 2 female tickets as well. When we met him, he gave us these 2 female tickets and told us he will organize the male tickets the day after. When we met him now, he gave us a little runaround. And then Saturday, the night before the fest, he told us, come and meet him. When we met him, he gave us a runaround again and gave us back some of the money and said he could only give us 16 tickets.
Did you all report this matter?
Yes, we did.
Which station you reported this matter to?
St. James.
But why St. James police didn't go and interview this boy, see that is about $12,000, am I right?
Yes.
Did you all go to Fitzgerald Hines' home?
Yes, we did.
What did Minister Fitzgerald Hines come out and tell all you?
He told us he can't address the matter.
Okay, understand that.
Kimani is of age and it has to be done through him. And he does not want to get involved, and then he started to get on and tell us to get off his property.
All right, so we have, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, I have in my possession what you sent me, but I'm not going to come out with it as yet. We're going to give Kamani time to pay this money. We have all the, in fact, the convo. You have, in fact, I have crop stream with the convo saying that he will sort it out. Am I right? And give him time.
Yes.
Am I right? So
he actually said Friday he would have organized everything for.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, just letting you know, I'm just letting you know what exactly is going on. Thanks again. Well, we are out of time. You all make sure and get in contact with me if you wish to advertise on Crime Watch. Ladies and gentlemen, the run of this program is tonight at 10. Those of you who have no cell phones, the run of the program is tonight at 10. Those of you who have cell phones, you can now you can go straight to my, in fact, the app on any Android phone, smartphone, iPhone, and download the app, the I.A.N app, on your app store, and you can look at Crime Watch. So you can go back and look at the repeat immediately. If you have information, I am not going to stand idly by and leave this. Go ahead. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of Port of Spain. Researcher put it up one time. Breaking news, they are planning to kill 4 prison officers between now and Monday. One was just shot dead. They just said that 2 live in the Komoto area and they will know when they are finishing work. That is why I said get rid of the phones. But you see, I will tell you something. Just like a child, just like living in a house, when you leave a child to be rebellious and stoops and back answer you, when that child gets a little older, he want to beat you. He going to want to beat you and cuss you and slap you. But if from day one you put on your foot, hey, I am the man in this house. I am the man in this house. If the prison commissioner had put down his foot from day one, we would not have had this problem today where they're killing prison officers. Look at guns, look at alcohol, look at weed, look at cigarettes in the prison. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you have any information about those who wish to hurt these prison officers and police officers, ladies and gentlemen, let me know on my 290-4426. WhatsApp me. You can WhatsApp me on 290-4E, and that's 4 I.A.N, 4426. Let me know if you'd like to speak with me, 294-4081. During the course of the weekend, you'll be seeing a lot of repeats of this week's programs. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Ian Allen. Have a safe weekend. And to my good friend who's appearing tomorrow, Ade Samaru, I'm sorry I can't make it, but I wish you the best. I just love this song. Thank you.
Yo, there's a jungle out. There's a jungle out. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna come We ain't playing, it's the last thing on our minds. Go crime much if you really, really wanna stop crime. Be safe in your home, be safe in the street.